Boris slid his papers through a hatch. 20 tons. Fertilizer grade? Technical grade. Boris jabbed his finger at the product code on the order. You sure? Baldy frowned and inspected the order, line by line. He picked up a phone, running a hand over his eggshell-smooth head as he waited. When there was no response, he shook his head and cursed. Lazy tossers, all buggered off early. He slammed the receiver back into its cradle. I'll get you loaded up in a jiffy, mate. The metal ramp screeched against the concrete floor as a forklift truck drove into the back of the lorry, delivering the first pallet. 2 forklifts worked in tandem, an intricate dance, weaving and turning on a sixpence as they loaded the cargo. Within 15 minutes, it was finished. Fast and skillful, these old men of the north. Boris secured the load, signed the paperwork, and drove out of the factory gate. Click. Location 54.597255, -1.2011. Instead of taking the A19 south, he headed east to Haverton Hill and a decrepit warehouse lying in the shadow of a blue bridge. A damp chill rose from the misty river. Boris shivered as he opened the cab door and scanned the quayside. A tall, thin man materialized out of the fog, moving slowly, with laboured, jerky movements. He emerged into the sidelights, dark coat, spiky black hair, gaunt white face. The Spider. Christ, this run must be important. So? The question came out as a hiss. All good. Boris pointed to the trailer. No problems, boss. The Spider pressed a button and battered doors began to open, groaning and squealing with neglect. Boris backed the lorry into the warehouse and hopped down from the cab. How long will it take? He asked as he unlocked the back doors and dropped the ramp. Assist, the Spider ordered. Time is of the essence. 2 hours later, Boris's arms ached as he manoeuvred the Arctic onto the southbound motorway. Bloody amateurs, leaving him to do all the heavy work. Boris made good time to the south coast, skirting London after the rush hour. Transport of explosives was not permitted in the Channel Tunnel, so Boris and his lorry boarded the ferry to France. Click. Location 51.12646. 1.327. He stood on deck, sipping at a watery English coffee as the white cliffs of Dover receded into the mist. Plain sailing from here. He shivered as the towers of the titanium dioxide factory beside the Port de Calais hove into view and returned to his lorry. Click. Location 50.96622. 1.86201. The drive through France was uneventful as far as Strasbourg, but a young border guard flagged him down at the crossing into Germany for extra checks. So much for a borderless Europe. Boris remained calm. It had happened before. Nothing to worry about. The ginger-haired guard puzzled over the papers, wrinkling his brow. You do know what you've got in there? Yes, Boris lied easily now. After the first few runs, he knew how unlikely it was that anyone would check, and even if they did, what would they see? Ginger picked up a phone and moved out of earshot. After a few minutes, he marched back. Drive carefully. He waved him on his way. Click. Location 48.5857412. 7.75. Boris drove on past Baden-Baden. After lunch, near Munich, he took a nap in the back of the cab. When he woke, the stars guided his way to Salzburg and the crossing into Austria. Click. Location 47.7994. 13.0439. As he approached the mountains, snow started falling.